Let me take you back to January of 2023.
I was fast, I was strong, and I was feeling great. And then
Disaster struck.
maybe I just strained it in training, but
We did some tests and it looks like I might have something called reactive arthritis in my ankle caused by some stomach virus or something like that I had earlier in the week.
caused my own immune system to overreact.
Hopefully it's not too bad. I'm traveling home tomorrow.
A pitting edema led my doctor to fear blood clotting of my leg.
I got a glucocorticoid injection which helped me for a couple of days and got me up walking, but it would take me a lot longer to be back running. My ankle was not only in pain, but its mobility was severely limited. I started working on the mobility, but because of high systemic bodily inflammation, I had to wait several weeks before I could get my pulse up. I started out trying some easy altered gravity running by week 4. I was running at 13 kilometers an hour at about 70% body weight. When my systemic inflammation started to relax, I was cleared for some more intense training. I'll do my cardio and drills in water about 2 times per week from now. I was doing a lot of alternative training at this point, and this really got boring for me after a while, as I'm not seeing much improvement in any of it. I've never been very strong in the Nordic hamstring exercise though, so to have something to improve in, I decided to make that one of my main focuses while injured. Another way of alternative sprinting I found was the curved self-powered treadmills. By holding myself up, I can cycle my legs in quite a sprint-specific frequency with just a bare minimum load on my left ankle. Also, many of the exercises I got from my physio seeks to challenge my ankle as far as possible without hurting it. This might not look very challenging, but it felt awful. Here you can see the enormous loss of elasticity I have in my ankle still after 4 weeks. Finally, after 5 weeks, I could start doing some light sprint drills. The swelling is still there, but the pain starts to lessen. The ankle did not react very badly after my tests on the arm-assisted curved sprints, so by the end of week 5 I decided to try out an arm-assisted phosphagen sprint session. Week 6 I was able to jump rope for the first time on my left foot. So I can't fully support my weight on the inside. I might be leaning a little bit on the outside, which isn't good, but I think as long as I'm on both my feet, it's good. And by the end of 6 weeks I was able to run at about 55% intensity without assistance. Even though I can run at 55%, my soleus is feeling super weak at this point. Here you can see the difference in strength between my left and right leg in the seated calf, and here it's almost hard to believe that I'm giving it my all. It pretty much felt like my left calf was paralyzed. In desperation, I also tried out ice baths to lessen the inflammation. Look at the ice in my ass. Feels like it's helping with the inflammation, so I'm gonna keep doing this until I'm traveling to Tenerife in about 2 weeks, as I had some great improvements the 2 following weeks right after starting the ice baths. By the end of week 7, I'm now at 27 kilometers an hour in the curve mill, which I would say is about 70 to 80% intensity. The benefit of the curve is that it makes the impact lower on my ankle, but the contact lengths are also a little bit longer, as it's a bit similar to running uphill. I'm still doing the phosphagen session arm assisted, but I'm trying out running without assistance for every other sprint. Calf strength is looking better, but still not great. We're starting off week 8 and I'm trying out some easy accelerations and the resisted accelerations. I also ran some progressive relaxed 6-meter sprints, which ended in a 7.35 from first foot contact.
About 84-85%.
Strength-wise, I'm trying to keep my legs ready for the day I can run over 90%. I really don't want to suddenly have a healthy ankle just for the rest of my body not to be ready for sprinting. We're at the end of week 8 and I'm hoping to go above 85% in the 30-meter fly.
Okay, so that's 88%.
I ended up in 305, which is about 89%.
Go! Never been this happy to go 305.
In an attempt to get the feel and strength back in my left leg as quickly as possible, I'm trying to do most of my strength training in a single leg variation. We're at the end of week 9 and I'm hoping to go over 90%. After my previous session, my calves were absolutely mashed for about 5 days, so I've created a Franken spike for myself, together with a shoemaker for maximal cushioning while not sacrificing any grip in the acceleration. The shoe is actually a combination of the Adidas Adios Pro 2 and the Nike Streak Spike flats. I managed to run 3:04 flying, which is 90% of my training PB, exactly 9 weeks after my ankle got whacked. I'm now off to Tenerife and I'm hoping the warm weather can get me to loosen up a little bit more. We're now in week 10 and I ran 92% of my PB in the 100 meter. I'm hoping to continue the trend of about 1% increase per week. It seems my ankle is reacting a little bit to the warm weather though. We're at the end of week 10 and we're measuring some 30-meter flyings. And I managed to run 93% in the 30 fly. Week 11 and I'm having my first week where I'm not able to increase from the previous week. As my ankle keeps reacting to my training volume increases, I don't have much choice but to just relax as much as possible between the sessions. I'm getting to sprint at a 90% intensity twice per week, but other than that I'm mostly relaxing, compressing and icing my ankle. Luckily, by the end of the week, I'm back at a 294 flying or 93% of my training PB. Week 12 is here and my ankle is finally able to accelerate out of the bend, so I'm trying out some 120 meters out of the bend.
We'll turn this around. We'll turn this around.
I'm struggling with the distance, but I was able to still get up to 93% of my 100 meter PB. But I also met some Belgians and we decided to do a race together. Super fun to do some competitive sprints for the first time in 3 or 4 months.
Here with Hannes, Simon and Victor.
Hi guys, today we welcome Mathias as the newest, latest ART member.
Watch out. Guys, make sure to subscribe to this amazing guy. Really down to earth guy. He'll really appreciate it. Please do.
Now I have both a Norwegian team when I go to Belgium.
ART representing Norway.
I'll have to try to visit Belgium sometime in the future. Coming back to Norway, I was starting to get a cold, and I believe my nervous system was also quite drained after 13 weeks of slowly but steadily increasing the training load without any tapering weeks. We decided to do the bare minimum of training for 5 days to recover before trying out some sprinting again. I was running at 2.98 with the Ruzer system, which is pretty close to my fastest runs in Tenerife. My left leg seems to lagging a little bit behind because of the lack of impact I'm making into the ground with my left leg. My ankle is collapsing and not really allowing me to express power through it, making it stay on the ground longer, which then again makes my knee pull slower and so on. I think the inflammation is in one way paralyzing some of my calf ability, but it's hard to know for a fact. I'll just have to wait for the inflammation to go away while I'll keep on working the elasticity and strength of my ankle and calf. It's week 14 and I'm finally trying out some blocks again after an easy training week. This was also the first week where my ankle seemed to handle some easy aerobic runs and strength between the sprint sessions. On the 28th of April, I finally found some cues and feel that got my frequency and response in the ground up. I ran 292 without any wind assistance on the Ruzer system, and I'm finally cooking around 95%. It's May and I did some 30 meter block tests in the beginning of week 15. They were not too bad. On the 5th of May, I went to run 7 times 100 meter in quite a lot of tailwind. I used about 4 runs to get my speed up and it felt good. Now I'm actually running at 97% runs and I'm starting to think I might soon be fit to compete. week 16, and I'm doing a combined session of acceleration and top speed. Warming up with some resistance runs before doing block starts from 30 to 60 meters, then some 30 meter flies from a 30 meter acceleration, and finally a couple of 30 meter flies from a 40 meter acceleration. Another 283 with a bit less wind this time, which is really promising. By the end of this week, I'm testing out some blocks from the 200 meter start. My ankle has been acting up when I've tried to run bends so far, and this is my first time running bends for about 4 months. No pain this time though, so in my next session, I'm trying out some bend exits. I also tested out an easy 200 meter at just under 90%. I've not been planning to compete before July this year, but as I'm feeling better each week now, I might consider starting already in June. After 16 weeks and over 100 days of rehab, I'll finally be running some 150 meter sprints. I'm still having some weakness in my left calf. My ground response and elasticity is not 100% still, but I can finally run both straights and bends at pretty much full intensity. So I'll have to call this rehab period done and over, and hopefully I'll be posting some real good speed sessions soon enough. Make sure to subscribe to get notified when I'm posting my next workouts and hopefully some competitions in June. Thanks for checking out my rehab, and an extra big thank you to the channel members and the Patreon Sprint Squad supporters. Check out the Patreon for a 16-week sprint training program. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.